kind of took advantage of shit like that. I think like you gotta be in practice at fucking. They say be there 6 o'clock after school. You probably be bullshitting.
They say that like they say shit like that's kind of like it's like a blessing and a curse because for at least on the athlete perspective. And they was saying like for former athletes, you would think it would be easy for them to work out on their own and stuff like that. Yeah. But since we're so used to that schedule and somebody making us and telling us to do it, it's harder and we don't find, especially because we're natural athletes, so our bodies don't force us. Like we don't have, like I don't have a body that's making me go out. I can eat and do whatever all I want. And my body's gonna always look like this just because of, you know, my athlete background and just how my body is. So a lot of us don't, you know what I mean, necessarily have that drive or that push, that motivation. So trying to find that self-motivation is the key. And it's like you said, it's a balance though. Having that balance of, you know what I mean, knowing how to follow rules, but also knowing how to go about and make your own rules and do shit yourself and go out and get things done on your own. You know what I mean?
Shit, bro. That's facts, bro.
Hey, but we recording. You ready to start this up?
Yeah.
Introduce it the right way. Who we got here, man?
Yes, sir.
You are now witnessing Jukebox HipHop Spotlight, where we shine a light on Pittsburgh's underground talent. Right here we got main man, grew up with Lane, one of the I'll say one of the most creative coming up and coming artists in the city. Seeing his growth and his journey up close, it's impressive.
I like the word you use, artist as well.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't categorize him as you as a rapper,
Yeah,
bro.
nah. I mean, it's cool when somebody call me it, but it's like, you know, that's just small-minded shit. Not small-minded, keep me in the box.
Yeah, keep me in. You
do because you produce, you record,
exactly.
Like you do more than just rap. So
yes, sir. I appreciate that.
So what led you wanting to master the artistry of just hip hop as a whole?
I always say like a music background in my family. Not background, but like we just love music in our household. I think that really started everything, but I really didn't start like taking it serious. Like, man, I didn't make my first song until 11th grade. So like 11th grade, high school, I used to go to this program called Arts and Greenhouse in CMU.
Yeah,
And we used to go every week, every Saturday. We would make a song. We would like have like a lesson. Like it would be like a real out hip hop class for real. Like, and so that was really the beginning of it, bro. Like, but that's where I got introduced to it. I was just like, I used to do poetry, spoken words, and stuff like that. That's where I started.
Yeah.
And so that just led to like the next thing. And then one day I just went to my boy's crib. We had a studio in his basement. Little boy Mike B. And he's also with me or whatever. And that was the first song I made, Thankful. That's on my SoundCloud. So yeah, but after that, I'm like, it's just fun as hell.
Yeah.
Like hearing my own voice and then hearing like it all come together. I didn't know how that shit worked before, but it was my first time in there. It was like a random day too, how it happened. It was like, I'm like, oh, and I wrote the song the day before. I just wrote it on some like having fun shit. And so I'm like, damn, he got a studio. He ain't gonna charge me. He like my family's peoples. I'm like, oh, we about to get it cracking. So he made the first song. After that, it just like had like a spark in me. So, but I really didn't start like taking it real serious like 2020 to 2019. I took a little break. I was in school. And I came out of school and shit, but yeah, that's a little background. That's how I got started. But yeah, I started with poetry shit. Poetry was my thing, like spoken words and shit. So.
Which artists you get most influential to you?
Well, that's a good question. Influential, like inspirationally.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by a lot of artists. Like my main, like 3, I say. It's tough, but I go like Ye. Ye's probably like, I mean, if I look to him just like for like the guidance of like the shit to do and shit not to do. Yeah. Like, you already know, but that's my nigga all the way. But it's like you gotta learn and just pick and choose. Like, but Ye. Next one we surprised, but Pierre Bourne is like my like second like most inspirational. Like just like his sound, his blueprint, because he's an engineer, he's a producer, he's an artist. Yeah. Like that's really where I got the idea of like, I can like, you know, dude, I can make it work for myself, how I want it to be me. Like Pierre, one of my biggest inspirations. Then third, I don't know, but that's hard. I'll speak 2 right now.
So you say, like, you just said the whole Pierre was your inspiration because you was able, you know, you was able to make your own sound and stuff like that. So do you feel like it's easier, or do you feel like you know your sound best and it's easier for you to work just with yourself to get the sound you want, or finding like a producer or outside source who, do you feel like, do you have that engineer or that producer who knows your sound and y'all just got that chemistry together?
So like for me, it's really doing on my own for right now, cause like it's a little bit of both. Cause like when I first started doing, like, cause my mind you, bro, I was making like this Pierre sound before I knew it was a Pierre sound.
Yeah.
I was hopping on Pierre type beats and didn't know who he was.
Okay.
So then I got educated, like, who is this dude? I'm like, oh, he can make music. But to answer your question, it's like I was doing like on my own, like I was finding producers around the city who made them type beats, or being on YouTube and like stick on one producer that I liked that really made that Pierre sound that really stuck out to me. So like it really comes down to like just resources, like you said. Like YouTube was a big resource for me, and after I got tapped with YouTube, I started looking around the city for producers who made that sound. Like Cam Look Crazy is one of them. He's a producer. There's a couple of dudes, but like Cam was like the main one who really helped me like define and like really fine tune that sound. So, but yeah, bro, it's, it definitely just working on myself, working with myself, and sometimes reaching out for other resources. Like it's definitely good to do that.
Yeah.
But like if you want to get it done quicker, if you want to like, you know, experiment and do weird shit, you gotta do it yourself. Like, I mean, work it with yourself and shit. So.
Yeah.
How would you describe your style of music?
I'd say it's like fun. It's honest. I like to make music make you feel good. I like to make music make you feel everything now. So like whether you put on one song, you might feel sad as hell, like damn, he was in his bag in this song, or you might, you know, put on a hype song, make you get up in the morning when you start your day. That's when get like all the emotions, bro. Like that I be feeling. It's really just whatever comes out of me that day. Like, you know what I mean? But definitely just fun and just energetic sometimes. Just like lighter sound. That's really my sound. I wanted to push.
Raise the vibration.
For sure. There's too many dark vibrations out here, low vibrations. Yeah, raise them up.
How do you aim to make a difference?
Oh man. I think by being myself, taking care of myself. That's like the first thing. Taking care of myself, taking care of my mental health, so that I can share the right message to whoever's listening, whether it's the youth, whether it's, you know, older people, whether it's people my generation.
One of my questions was that I was wondering is which artists, and I know you work with a lot of artists, especially on the north side, so which artists do you feel like you got that chemistry with and y'all just make, whatever y'all do together, it always comes out good?
That's tough. I mean, so there's a couple of dudes, so like IV, Boys Not Me Instagram, we made music, a lot of music together. JT is his name. Nello, we made a lot of shit together, made Lost in It, one of our like tapes that like kind of guy that's like not known, but just kind of recognized in the city a little bit. There's a lot of shit, bro. A couple people, I mean, I feel like no cocky shit. I feel like it's worked well with a lot of people. Like anytime I get in the studio, we end up making like some good shit. So like, an artist named Linwood, it's like he's really good. He makes like really good music, but he showed me love like since the very beginning. He just helped me, bro. Like he ain't charged me. I'm not gonna say he did, but he just helped me about shit, bro. A lot of niggas doing weird shit too. You know what I mean? So we make good shit together. Like it's natural, like it's chemistry, you know. That's probably my favorite person to make music with, for real. Like we just like lock in.
I must say, from the outside looking in, I enjoy seeing like y'all collaborate, like, you know, everybody from the north coming together and really, you know, doing their thing with this music.
Facts, bro.
No, it's a beautiful thing to see, and it's also beautiful knowing like we all grew up together. Yeah, I mean, seeing that we still all together to some sense, because you know, life takes us separate ways, and everybody starts to branch out and do their own thing and start their own life, but. Like now, like you said, we was in the rad, you was like, damn, my mom got a picture of us in kindergarten. Now, okay, like it's a full circle moment. So even though we all go our separate ways, there's things like this that brings us back together. So, and I feel like what y'all doing with the rapping and on the north side, I think that's what it is for y'all. Like keeping y'all together is that family and that fact that y'all got that bond with the rapping. So, you said the project you and Nello put out. What was the project name?
So it's called Lost in It. It's an EP. It's like 5 songs, I believe. We made that 2020, bro. We made that in my room. Like,
wow, 2020.
like
really?
3 songs in there is made in my room, like in my mama's crib. Room.
Really?
And it's a microphone, MacBook interface.
Uh-huh.
I think might have speakers, maybe. I don't know.
Said, hey.
They might be so loud, motherfucker. Mom, turn that down. But, I know we made the song "Lost" in it. The last song on there, it's like the most popular song on there. Made that in my room. We made a couple songs.
That's what that video for Lost in is hard.
Good looking, bro. That video we shot that was wild. Like, we had to go to this warehouse and shit.
Mm-hmm.
My first time shooting like a real video like that. So
Yeah.
I'm like nervous and shit.
Yeah.
You could tell in the video, like the video, I'm like kind of like, you know what I mean? I ain't got no.
So what's that
movement.
like though? Getting the jitters out and being
video?
comfortable in that position.
It's just like anything else, bro. Like you gotta be uncomfortable to get comfortable. Like
You hear, like we heard, I don't know if you watched Lil Baby's documentary, but in this documentary he spoke on just how he had stage fright. He was scared to be on stage and he would literally just sit there and just, and it took him a while to find himself and find that even, like he was Lil Baby and he was that guy, but even him being that guy, he still had to overcome that.
I swear, but that stage fright, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
whatever it is.
That's something, bro. Because like, it's just a matter of just being more comfortable with yourself. I think that's what it
Yeah.
is. Bro. Like it's being like knowing that you like you got it, and that it means you gotta be like you said confident in yourself. Like,
Do you separate your rap personality from your personal personality? Because we always hear rappers say, "It was Herbert Wright and this is G Herbert."
See, look, that's
You know
funny you say that. Like, I was thinking about rebranding myself, like, and doing like, 'cause basically I was just want to say like, you know, Lang is music,
Yeah.
Langston is this, you know, school.
Uh-huh.
But now I'm like, you know, it's just whatever you get from me now. It's like I might walk out the door feeling like Lang, like feeling like that, you know. It's just it really just depends, bro. Like it really just depends on me, like. But I definitely try to just keep it like balanced and just try to be as just organic and natural as possible with it, and be honest with myself about everything. But that's really what it is, bro. But that's a good question because there's an artist, not to get out there, there's an artist named Lil Shimmy, right? From Florida. He does a song called, it's a concept for a song called Shimmy vs. Shim.
Okay.
So I love that so much, but I think it talks to just how we in a constant battle with ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
And like I got inspired from my own song like Lang vs. Langston, like so it's just like an interesting perspective I've been thinking about like sometimes, you know what I mean, personalities and how we go about the artistry shit.
Definitely be a personal battle.
It's weird, man.
That's what even like sometimes getting into it with people, like I would just let them have it because I know like you're not at war with me, you're at war with yourself.
Real shit, bro. That's really what it is, bro. That's wild. Y'all been too many jokes on this motherfucker.
Yeah, too many. We gotta have to hit up Gillian Wallow, man. That's $1 million worth of game right here.
Gillian Wallow, check us out.
That's the type of content they need right here.
Facts.
And they always shitting on the youth, talking about the youth ain't giving no game. We self-got, we got in each other. We got each other. Young niggas with wisdom, for sure.
Definitely. I think it has a lot to do with, I don't know, like, I want to say how we came up, but I don't feel like we did anything special though, but I feel like we just all been kind of like mature and like wise since youth.
Yeah,
that's true, bro. That's true. And we recognize it though, you know, we should
your upbringing.
knew each other, like we should, you know what I mean? This like my best friend, like bro, that was my nigga, like in kindergarten, bro, like
who your peoples is, who your family, like
bro.
how you was raised and stuff like that. And we see it, like I know his mom, I know his peoples really well, I know Nell's peoples really well, and now I see the type of men they are now, and also the type of young men they were when we were growing up in high school, and the routes we took and the routes we decided not to take. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we all come from that same environment, but we decided to go down, you know, the yellow brick road, and other people decided to go down, you know, whatever road that
pothole road.
Yeah, a lot of them in this city.
Speak on that. It's like, you know, you see people go down them roads, bro, and it's like other roads, but it's like we don't judge nobody, and like we don't discriminate people, but it's like we know that like people was put in environments, situations that they couldn't. They had to make them decisions, bro. You never know how people like was thinking when they was. I always think about this like there's different roads, different paths people took because of situations, bro. Like you know what I mean? It just be like
be the circumstances,
bro. It'd be like, cause you think about it, like one wrong move from us could have took us down any other path. You feel me? But it's
G
like,
Herbo said it one line. He said, "You don't understand the circumstances and how he grew up. So like, for you to get to judging that young man and you don't understand the circumstances and how he was brought up to make him that way,
right.
You know what I mean? Then you shouldn't be judging. So like, that's another thing. That's what I think to our advantage is that we ain't never looked down at nobody who decided to go down there. We ain't never judged. We ain't never. Shoot, I ain't never stopped being people's friends because they went down there. That's still my dog to this day. You know what I mean? But you understand the boundaries that has to be set just because we do live different lives.
Exactly.
But if you ever call me, I'm there. Everything.
Sure,
I'm there
sure.
every
That's
time.
Most of the time, that's what people need, bro. Like,
That's all they
that
need.
conversation, like that's what I'm saying. This shit like helped me so much, bro. Cause like talking to people, like I'm big on that, like conversation. So like talking about, like I mean, like real conversations, bro, like in person, like not over the phone, even if it's over the phone, but just hearing your voice, like that's a difference, bro. Like people don't be knowing how much that can help somebody.
Make people feel good.
My
cousin currently has some like it's not Western Psych, but something of that nature out in New Kent or whatever.
Okay.
And he was home today, like they let him come home today to be with his family. So I was over there earlier, went over, and that's really all that you could see it in his face, like how it made him feel, just not us just showing up and being there. Like there was times where the conversations did, and we just sitting there chilling watching a football game. But I'm looking over at him, he got a smile on his face, like you know what I mean. So it's just little things like that, like that could bring a person's mental health up, like through the roof. And somebody who's down, all they need is just knowing that they have people in their corner. You know what I mean? Somebody that's there and care about them. Ain't nothing. We was just watching that movie Gully. Ain't nothing worse than like having, like knowing. I felt bad for the people in the movie, and it's a movie's characters, and we grow attached to these things, of course, like G Baby and stuff like that. But like this was a little different because I'm watching. I said, "Yo, he passed away. He got shot." And I said, "Yo, bro, it's crazy because don't nobody care." Like, and this is like we're literally watching what it's like to be a statistic. Like we're watching the meaning of just what a statistic is on TV, and it gave me chills through my body sitting there watching it. I'm like, "Yo, this is crazy." Like don't nobody care, and it's not crazy the fact like it's crazy that I know that happens in real life. Like we know people, we know individuals.
Like speak on that, bro. Like that's like a lot of shit, bro. Like a lot of shit like that affects me. Like even with like the movies is one thing. Like you see a movie and you see how it reflects like now in daytimes. And it's like the music, this industry, how we losing a lot of artists. Like that's another thing that affects me. And I can like go into the subject, but like
No,
like this it's all mental health talk. Like I mean mental health,
same subject.
Shit just like affects me. Like hearing like a certain artist die, like that, I'm sensitive to death, bro. It's like that shit like affects me. Like especially because I'm being an artist, I like taking like a lot of different angles. So like it's all just like a part of the mental health that my bad. Just like, you know, it's expressing, but like talking about it, like that's really what it's about. Like the biggest thing when it comes to mental health, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I agree though, because I recently said that like I don't think we understand how seeing multiple artists that we grew up listening to and are fans of just passed away, especially like early before their time. And I really do believe it's a mental effect that happens to all of us, that whether we know it or not.
You know, I swear, bro. It's like a subconscious thing. Like you be like, damn, like there's so many. Like it's so many. Yeah, it's so many. It's like, do we even have to name specifically? Because it's just so many. But it's like, I know in some cases, like, wow, his music really got me through. Like I was going through a dark time, or like, oh, I really liked him. Like I just wanted to ball like him and make him know for balling. So it's like, damn, can I ball?
XXX Tentacion. I wasn't personally impacted by his death, but I was dealing with a girl at the time, and she was huge, and I knew like. And when he passed away, we weren't like talking or nothing like that. But when he passed away, I made sure to reach out to her because I already knew the type of impact he had on her life, because she was going through mental health and her own battles, and I seen it, and I know how real that mental health shit can be. And like he was literally that person, that voice, that you know, that comfort, that sense of comfort that she would go to in times of need. So you know what I mean, when he passed away, I reached out to her and she was crying then. So it's more than music. It's basically what this is. It's a lot more than music.
It's the influence people have and the effect that people have on like just people's everyday lives. Like you just never know, bro. That's why I'm big on just like what I'm doing now with just putting out as much music as I can. Because like you never know what that one song is doing to, you know, anybody, bro. Like that one play, though, you know, one song it could have been that one dude who needed to hear that day. That one woman who was like down bad, like she put on your song that made her day. Like you never know, bro.
People mess up with thinking like ain't nobody listening right now, or you only got 20 listeners or 30 listeners, but shoot, somebody in those 20 listeners might have really needed to hear what you had to say.
Yeah, that's man. And the fact that it's coming from like you might make it much more, like, because it's easier to relate.
Right? They might feel like they know you, or they might, I went to school, right? Seen him, or
yeah. But mental health is definitely one of those things that just not just in music or rap, but just in the community that needs to be talked about more, especially for black men.
For sure,
because we're not, shoot. What was I saying? I forget what we was watching. Me and my girl was watching something, and she was like, I was like, yeah, me and the guys, we don't have conversations like that with each other. Yeah. She was like, what you mean? Y'all don't like talk to each other? Y'all don't like? I said, nah, like we don't even really talk about our significant others with one another.
Sure.
Like we hardly, I don't know what's going on with bro and this girl.
It's some real shit.
Like that's some real. So like, and she's looking at me like I'm crazy because they have those conversations all the time, every day. And with us, it's just, we don't even think about it, but it's like, it's a little weird, like, damn, I definitely don't know what's going on with bro in his life. Like, I really don't know do I know my man? Like, do I really know him? So,
it's like, I mean, I don't know what it be, bro. It's like, you think about it, bro. Think about it like this. Say you tore your ACL, right? There's something in sport. You gonna tell your man, it's like, I fuck my shit. You gonna be on crisis or something. You gonna be oh, bro, you hope you get better. When it comes to the brain is a part of the body, bro. Like it's really it's the muscle. So it's like you fuck that up. I mean, or if you do something that's like mentally, whatever people call it, out of order or insane, or people going, I don't know. It's like they have a certain perception because it's the brain, it's mental, but it's like you gotta treat it like your leg. Like you gotta go to the mental hospital. Go to the hospital and get your help. You gotta take medicine. Take the medicine to get your help.
That negative stigma for like that started before we was born.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Passed down shit.
It's just been passed down. It's that learned behavior. Yeah.
It's fear passed down. It's like
literally fear passed down.
It's like
definitely
a lot of
miseducation.
It's a lot of shit.
That's why I started going to therapy and really like it's not bad at all.
It's not, bro. It's not.
My therapist like my homegirl. Like I be looking
up.
forward to go and talk to her and like just talk like.
I swear, bro. Get some shot. Not even get shot in the chest, but like just. Like you said, talk, bro. That's what it be, bro. Like, I'm real with y'all. Looking for a new therapist, but I got another one. But it's like a weird process I'm going through. That's got the hospital, so
yeah.
I was going through my own mental health issues. I had to take a break from this everything, like for 3 weeks, bro, and just like focus on me. You know what I mean? It was a tough time. It was a lot of ups and downs, bro. But you know, it's a part of my journey, and I'm not scared to share it, bro. It's just what it is, what it was, and it's like. I'm looking for it. It's like it's all part of just a mental health journey, bro. I've been going through since like probably since I've been born, but I just started getting educated on some of this stuff and what it does, like anxiety and depression. Like we all deal with some sort of mental health issue, bro. It's just about how we manage it and how we get the help that's needed.
Yeah. Sure. Especially because I feel like growing up, we're not really taught emotional intelligence.
Hell no.
And so
I was just saying the other day, like, I don't know if you know, but I teach right now with K-2, but you don't even know that I'm about to be moving to middle school. I've been interviewing to go back to middle school or whatever.
Okay.
So, but I was just thinking to myself, and I always have these thoughts out loud, is like, we need to, as teachers, we need to teach young black men and white boys and any race, young men, how to respond to disrespect and not react to disrespect. And we see too much in our times. It's just reaction, and that's from as long as I could walk, we just been taught to react and not necessarily how to respond to. And I don't think people understand the difference between the two.
It's funny because I remember when you posted that, and it's crazy because just how like the algorithm of the world is. Because the same day you posted that, I believe his name is Mr. Jason White, the old black guy. He teaches like martial arts.
Yeah.
So,
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, on his podcast, bro, word for word, verbatim, what you said, he said, and like he had two younger guys on there, and one of them told the story, and he was like, you know, I was at school, and this guy was messing with me. He was saying, at first he said, I have a learning disability. Then corrected himself. He was like, no, I just learn differently than others. So he said the other guy was messing with him and was like, well, since you're stupid, your mom got to be stupid or something of that lines. So he was like, you know, usually like I don't fight or, you know, but if somebody say something about my mom, I fight. So he said, I got up and I punched him.
I ain't mad at the brother neither. I'd have reacted the same way, Brian. Sorry.
He said, I appreciate your honesty and your transparency. But he literally said the same thing. Like, we have to teach and learn how to respond to disrespect instead of react to it.
That's a big one right there, but like that's something I've been learning just recently, my own like personal shit, just like how to respond and just like everything, bro, because it's like, specifically being like a black man, like you know, society, you like they're watching you, everything you do, so every reaction is like their reaction, so you have to. It's weird, but it's a lot of pressure. But then again, it's like, you know, we ain't perfect, but at least gotta have that.
I feel like
forward thinking, like want to do better with this shit.
Even as like a group or like a race of people, that's something we need to work on. Respond instead of react, because a lot of the things that like causes outrage, we just be reacting to it. But if we was proactive and we be able to get ahead of the curve, we'll like be able to really set the terms on what we like and what we need, instead of just, you know what I mean? They, like for example, I know back at Clark or back in Atlanta, the Walmart that sits on MLK that services the AUC and the whole entire Western community is closed.
Closing. I seen that on Twitter.
So now,
I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, so now it's like, bro, that Walmart serves a whole community. Like, like there's like another grocery store close, but I'm thinking like that immediate, like the people, like if they don't got no car, like it just makes it harder.
Yeah, I see.
It's walking distance for people
it's
on the bus route and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's just like now it's gonna cause some people to react and scramble and figure out something new, but it was just in a perfect world, we was able to like get a heads up on that, and 10 people be like, oh, that's closing? All right, let's buy it.
Yeah, like, responding to it.
Yeah.
Be reactive. That's another double R. Responding, reactive.
Yeah.
You know,
That's our shit right there.
Resources and relationships.
That's crazy.
That's the name of our first episode ever, Resources and Relationships. That's our shit.
I ain't never brought it up, but I was talking to myself one day, and I think relationships come first.
Yeah, relationships and resources.
Yeah, no, but I was just saying, like, just thinking out loud. Because if you got like say if I got to hook up the phones, like if I had the resource of like 1,000 phones, it really don't mean nothing if I don't have the relationship to get those phones off.
Yeah.
But with a
just
relationship,
a nigga with 1,000 phones.
Yeah, but with a relationship, you don't even need 1,000 phones, but y'all can figure something out together.
So Wallow said relationships worth more than money.
Real.
So like I feel that like it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. It's just another way of saying it. It's just,
that's why they always say keep people with the same like mind in your corner, you know, because we went to Central Catholic, so there's a lot of. And not even for the strength of just because I want to use them as a resource or a relationship later down the line, but they are genuine brothers of mine, but they're, you know, white men. And of course, out of a lot of those white men, a few of them is going to be in position, you know, higher up positions, you know what I mean, with power, with resources and stuff like that. And they're still some of my bestest friends to this day. Like the DeMar Hamlin thing went down, and they knew how close like me and DeMar is and how we grew up together. So they reached out to me and it's like, yeah, if you need anything, call me, And I had more friends from Central Catholic that was white reaching out to me and making sure I was cool during times like that than I had, vice versa, other friends. So little thing like relationships and really is the key to life, if you ask me.
And it's also about access. Like,
It's weird, bro.
Freedom.
Yeah, like
This episode show you the access. I can get access to the studio. I was trying to get that motherfucker. Trying to make some heat, play y'all something. We ain't get access yet. We'll get access soon. Access to resources.
It's been a good interview. Yeah. I like the gems in this. I mean, this ain't even the topics we wanted to do, but
it's just coming from really off the top.
But this is how most of our pods go, so we trying to keep it genuine and organic in that way. I mean, we want to interview, we get to know the artist, but I feel like the best way of really getting to know artists is through conversation.
That's my favorite type. That's my favorite type of interviews. Where artists are just talking.
Just talking, make you a part of the show. Conversation,
like
discussion.
You gotta bring.
Her bro went down, I damn near cried. Say niggas pick a size when you see my side. From North niggas where niggas get fried. Roll with the punches and roll with the tide. Damn, we all traumatized. Got put in the snoodle, but they had to lie. On my name, nigga, on the stand. Armed to the bone, I don't need no hand. Raised on the principle, ain't learned from my dad. Streets on me better, it's on the plan. You got supply, it's on demand. Running it up, had to give me some bands. This some JB, my dog was a man. Barbecue peas, bro, throw us a pass. It's a touchdown. I'm doing my dance down. We really up now. You niggas are dead, yeah. You mad as fuck now. Touchdown. Bust down. What? I think she want the fuck down. Up now. Touchdown. Bust down. Yeah, I score me a touchdown. I got played, now I'm a player. Just how it is, man. You a simp. You do anything for that little babe. Sell your soul away for that little babe. I'll say 10 toes if I got away. I ain't trying to act hard. Used to be that nigga skateboard in my backyard. I said, friend, I'm lonely, nigga, that part. So, bro, they cash out my cash card. And the years in the culture bag. Get your bitch and she begging. Just for me to give her some attention. Bro, so clock, you know it's stitching. It's off the head, yeah, it's off the missile. That was written, I don't need no pencil. I go off top, nigga, I don't need no dental. It's all teeth, I don't need no dentals. I don't know front, nigga, I don't know. Hold on.
They going crazy. That shit crazy.